All right, Matt, your time to shine with Derick Smith. He's committed to Alabama. There's some interesting quirks about his profile, so why don't we just open it up and tell us about Derick Smith?
Yeah. So he is athlete 3, 60th overall, about 6'1", 185 pounds to 190 ish. Out of Southside, Alabama, as you said, committed to Alabama. And he's currently, it's kind of like a 50-50 split on it if he's going to play offense or defense. We don't really know. He's offered to play on both sides with Alabama. So that's just kind of a wait and see game there. And when you turn on the tape, I mean, he is a yak monster. That's really his calling card here. I mean, you watch his movement, he just moves different. He's agile, he's explosive, he's flexible, and he just shakes guys with such ease. A really, really impressive mover. That's the first thing that really stands out to me. And I think that skill set can take him a pretty far way. But I do have some serious gripes about his actual wide receiver play. I think he's very raw currently, doesn't really run much of a route tree, a lot of short stuff just to get the ball in his hands. Uh, and he really, I don't think he really has that great of hands. I mean, there's a lot of body catches on tape. I really don't see any extension grabbing. And he's really just jump up, kind of get over the tiny DB he's playing against, and just kind of secure it in with his chest a lot of the time. And that's something I don't like to see, especially with these kind of wide receivers where I'm questioning their separation ability due to the lack of refinement. And then there's also a lack of ball skills. That gives me serious concerns about their future upside. It almost makes me want to say, hey, this guy would be a dominant running back if he put on a little bit more weight. But that's not to say I don't like him at all as a wide receiver, because he can just do crazy things with the ball in his hands. Extremely productive, 46 receptions, 1,400 yards, 32 per catch, and 14 touchdowns, over 1,000 on the ground as well last year. Playing against bad competition, though. Minus 14 strength schedule, not even fair, as you can see on the tape. I mean, it's really just not fair at all. So I don't know. It's kind of a mixed bag for me. We don't know if he's playing wide receiver, and even if he does play wide receiver, I think he has a lot of room to grow still.
Okay. A lot of room to grow. That could be a positive thing. That could be a negative thing. David, are we glass half full with Derick Smith? Or are we glass half empty? What are you doing?
I try to be a glass half full guy in general. He plays a lot of safety. He's really good at safety. Like, he's a really good defender. So it's just like, is he a little bit raw because he hasn't really committed to playing receiver? I don't know. Maybe we'll see some camp stuff from him like this summer. I haven't seen much of him at this point, but it would be nice if he could just commit to a position here and just give us, and maybe senior, he just plays like more and becomes more of a route runner. That would be nice. It would make me feel a little bit better about him, because you know how we always talk about, we want guys that aren't very raw. So I don't know. I almost want to break the rule because he's so nasty after the catch. He's just nasty, man. I love watching him play. He was one of the guys that stood out to me immediately, and he almost made my top 5 when we did our initial list. Because I'm just like, dang, like he's sick. But like the hands thing, I thought he was. I saw some clips and stuff on Twitter of like one-handed catches and stuff like that. So I don't know. Maybe the hands are iffy. I agree though. Like on tape, like he didn't have tons of amazing catches or anything. So I don't know if it's a cop out to just say I just want to see more. I'm going to say that with a lot of these guys. Like, senior tape is very big for me, so it's just like I'm very intrigued at this point. I'm rooting for him. Let's just see a little more refinement. That's where I'm at.
Okay, fair enough. This is early in the process. We're doing this kind of earlier than we ever have, I think, in terms of kind of really breaking down players. Well before summer, it's April, and we are already kind of doing deeper dive than we have before, which I think is good. But you don't have to have a fully formed opinion. It is okay. I'll allow it. Derick Smith for me, same thing. One of these guys you flip it on, and it's like right away, this guy's different. I mean, you can see it from the first snap how quick and different and choppy his movements are in a good way. We start, stop, and acceleration off of that. I mean, the clips that we were playing, like he had stuff he's running, and there's a jailbreak, trying to get to him, and he just goes like slams the brakes, reroutes, back up, and just gaining yards like old school Noel Devine highlights from, back in the early 2000s, if you remember those. He was just obscene as well. But he was a running back. So I think it's valid to say what Matt is talking about with, is he a receiver? He's a great athlete. He's an exciting ball carrier. That doesn't mean you're a great receiver. So I do think there's questions there translating into being a good overall receiver. But Alabama is investing in guys kind of like this. I mean, Bubba Hampton, from this 2024 class, another two-way player, was kind of committed to be a safety to Texas, I think, and ended up going to Alabama on a wide receiver, offer. So they're kind of investing in some of these jack of all trades types who are very athletic and fun with the ball in their hands. So I don't know if they've got a plan or if they're just hoping one pops. But interestingly enough, for me, for Derick Smith, we love to see total dominance as much as we can. There's a fellow junior on his team that had almost the same production as last year. That guy's, interestingly enough, is Eric Smith. So not Derick Smith, Eric Smith. But he's like 6'6", 200-pound receiver. I didn't watch his tape. He's a 3-star on 24/7, but not listed on the industry ranking. So he might be pretty good. And they put up almost mirror image stat line. So I wouldn't say that Derick Smith was totally dominant as a receiver.
Something I want to butt in. Sorry, I don't want to.
Go ahead.
You have to take into account the rushing.
Yeah, that's what I was about to add.
He was averaging over 100 rushing yards per game as well.
True. Yeah, so, Derick Smith had 1,000 on the ground. So, his total output was like 2,500 yards total, which is pretty insane. But we're talking also just to keep in consideration as a receiver. It's just unknown, but he's super exciting. I think he's probably one of the most explosive ball carriers, dynamic weapons, whatever you want to call it, that we can see in this class probably. And I'd rather make a bet on Derick Smith, I think, than Michael Terry, who we reviewed a week ago, who really doesn't seem like he might have a home position-wise. But I think Derick Smith, I can see it a little bit more.